Welcome to Comic Toy Reviews, and the topic of this video is about how I find it odd and ironic and really sad that the creators of some of the most popular comic book icons in the comic book industry that are now pretty much world famous and in multimedia, that the actual creators of these characters or co-creators never got to live a good financial life or royalties from their creation, and yet others who are working on that character which they did not create have made millions of dollars off of the work of that character. So you have some writers, directors, actors making millions of dollars, and the people who actually dreamed up and thought of these characters didn't get to live really the good life, didn't get the millions, didn't get much, if anything, and lived a very regular life that didn't have any financial security. What brought this topic on is that I'm reading online. They have this Broadway show called Spider-Man Turn Off the Dock. And the original person in charge of it was a woman called Julie Taymor. Before the show was made public, they fired her, and they did some rewrites and reworking. And from what I heard on the production of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dock, with her in charge, it really wasn't good, the Broadway show. And when they got rid of her and they replaced her with a new director and new people to work on the script and work on the play, that they improved it and they made it better. And what you see now in the show, which is supposedly pretty good, it's actually a better version of what you would have seen had this woman, Julie Taymor, had stayed with the project. So she got angry, and then she hired lawyers to sue the Broadway play, even though she was making almost $10,000 a week royalty off of the play that she's no longer involved in because it deals with contracts and things of that nature. And so she was making $10,000 a week for basically being fired and doing nothing. So if you figure out 52 weeks a year, almost $10,000 a week, we're talking almost $500,000 a year, somewhere in that range, just to have nothing to do with the Broadway play because of a contract. So $500,000. And anyway, she was still suing, and they settled the lawsuit, and the terms of the deal weren't made known. But just my guess is she probably settled for millions. I mean, probably got at least a few million. I mean, she was making $500,000 a year, or about $10,000 a week, and then she settled. So, you know, it had to be in the $1 million range or more. And the reason they settled is they probably didn't want a long, drawn-out court battle and the publicity and the time wasted. So that's why, right? So here she is. All she did was make a Spider-Man play, and it was just based on the first Spider-Man movie, and it was based on the comic book character. How much originality is this Broadway play going to have? You know, the Green Goblin's the bad guy. You know, Spider-Man's the good guy. You know the origin story. You know about Mary Jane. You know the character dynamics. I mean, it's just original writing. It's just original creativity. No, it's not. It's just taking what's there already and spinning a new angle on it. It's not exactly original writing, okay? So you got a woman like that who made a pretty nice fortune off Spider-Man. Had nothing to do with the Spider-Man creation, the character, the origin, the original stories, right? And then you have someone like Tobey Maguire, the first Spider-Man. He made tens of millions of dollars off the Spider-Man character in 3 movies. Easily at least over 10 million. And Sam Raimi, the director, he made a ton of money as well. And yet the reality is they only worked on 3 movies together. That's it. 3 movies, and they made tens of millions of dollars off the character of Spider-Man. Even though they just based their work on the original creation by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. They copied the origin aspects. They copied the early stories. They copied the things like the Green Goblin's origin and how he died in the books. They copied the Spider-Man origin. They copied the relationships of the characters from the books. Movie writing based on a comic book character is not all original writing, because all they're doing is lifting sequences and ideas from the actual source material of the comic books. I mean, original writing is when you have a blank sheet of paper and you're just writing something all new that has no basis on something before in terms of dealing with the characters. But since you're dealing with a comic book property, you have to base it on something, and that lifting of sequences is the right way to go. But again, I'm just saying it's not all original creation. So the Spidey people got tens of millions of dollars. This doesn't even include executives in charge and all the business corporate suits who have made tens of millions of dollars off the movie franchise of Spider-Man and others. And then meanwhile, you look at Steve Ditko. He never got Spider-Man financial royalties at all, or Doctor Strange. And he has lived a pretty plain lifestyle. And I'm sure he has a financial trouble. Let's just be honest, right? But isn't he, worthy of the millions? Now, sure, with his philosophy and things of that nature, he has turned down money before. But that's I'm not going to get into that aspect of, okay, a person turning down money and things of that. Whatever's going on there, because I don't know, right? Whatever his views are. But I'm just saying that when you actually have the creators, and then you talk Stan Lee, even though he has made at least $1 million a year, or at least at one time did at Marvel, the truth is he had a hand and was a co-creator in a lot of this Marvel stuff on so many characters, the heroes, the villains, and all of that stuff going on, that despite whatever he has made, and it's good, he has a pretty comfy lifestyle, he deserves tens of millions more because of what he created. I mean, there's no way that someone like J.K. Rowling, who did create Harry Potter and those films, but there's no way that someone like that deserves more money than Stan Lee in terms of the culture and what Stan Lee helped to create. Okay? And then you look at Jack Kirby and I should say his family, right? The estate now. You look at all the characters that Kirby co-created and had a hand in, and shouldn't he, in his lifetime, and especially his family, just be financially set? Shouldn't he have lived, or his family have lived the lifestyle of a, let's say, a Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi, or just, have that financial security? And you look at all the recent characters that he had a hand in creating. You got the Hulk, you got the Fantastic Four, you got Iron Man, you got Captain America, you got Thor, and most of those Avengers. You got the villain Loki, you got the original X-Men. There's just so many characters that he had a hand in, or aspects of creating in the Marvel Universe. And, well, what did he get, I should say, financially, right? Or his family? Nothing really, right? And then you look at the fact that when Marvel was sold for $4.9 billion, I was reading a lot of those corporate suits at Marvel who were owners or had shares and things of that nature. A lot of those corporate executives, the suits, a lot of those people made millions and tens of millions of dollars on the Marvel property. And all they were the corporate people. They weren't creators, none of that. They were just the business end of it. And they have made tens of millions of dollars, the top people who were at Marvel when it was sold. And yet, they didn't create these characters. They didn't have anything to do with them, and nothing of that nature. And I just find it very odd, and it's sad that you have people who actually did create something characters, ideas, stories, and they didn't get a financial like royalty, a cut. They didn't get the tens of millions. But then now people are lifting their work, copying the characters, the sequences, things of that nature, and then they're making a movie or two, or directing, or there's some corporate suit, and based on that property, which they never made, they're making tens of millions of dollars on it. But the original people got pretty much nothing, and other people who are new to the game are making a fortune. It was just something really messed up about that, and hopefully you understand what I was getting at in this video. But it's wrong, you know. It's just that aspect that it just seems so not right that people who actually were the creative force didn't get much, if anything, and those who really had nothing to do with making this character famous at all, or creating new material for this character, and that they're just basing their ideas on what's already been printed before, that they're making a fortune and getting to live a cozy lifestyle, and those who actually put in the hard work didn't. So thanks for watching, and talk to you later.